Hi everyone, welcome to day 5, the final day, and this is where you get to be as expressive as you want, because we're going to be doing the final layers on everything, but mostly on the foliage and particularly in the foreground. So this is where you can be a bit more expressive. You can choose some of your own colours. If you want to add flowers into the foreground, you can, or you can follow pretty much what I've done. But as I say, test them out, make sure you've got the right colours. I did do one recently that I had quite an acidic yellow for my rushes in the front, and I didn't really like it when I'd done it. So make sure all your colours harmonise and that it's pleasing to the eye. But feel free to experiment. This is your piece of work. All I'm doing is giving you some guidance and some suggestions. So I can't wait to see you on the final live this evening. Oh, and just so you know, I haven't been wearing the same clothes all week. I have pre-recorded these. See you later.
So now for our highlights. So we're coming back over to this side, and this is the area that I want quite a lot of attention to. So I'm going to do some big marks, but I'm going to start to bring in some of these more grassy marks now as well. And don't forget, they'll go in different directions. They won't just be in one direction, but as they go back, they won't be so individual. Again, this warm, just highlighting maybe some of the areas where the sun's caught it. Twizzle the pastel, and I'm just very, very lightly, almost wiggling the pastel around. And this colour, there's also some of this colour down here where this grass has fallen down by the wayside. Now we're going back in with RE15 on the other side. I'm going to use the very dark brown BE6, and I'm literally touching it very gently, very, very gently on its side. You need a sharp edge for this or you'll end up with big stripes. Blend that in so you can't really see. This is quite dark over here still, so I'm going in a bit more with that. Something a bit brighter. This is a coral. Literally just the odd mark. Wiggling, wiggling. Doing the same movement, slightly different colour. It's all really about being very gentle, I think. And if you don't like what you've done, you can go over it. So we're coming on to the last bits of fine detail now, and this is where you can make it look a lot more interesting. So I need a nice bright green. You don't want too much of this, but there will be some areas, look here, where the sun's come in. And just gently touching a few of these places, and I will have some green grassy bits down here as well. There's a bit more detail down here because it's close. And here there'll be some sun. And over here we have this dark piece here which we haven't done yet, so I'm going to add, it's like, let's add that in. That's a very dark green, and this very dark purple, just to give a bit of shadow. And then my grass, and this is poetic license, there was some sunshine there. Not too much on this side, but there is probably another mid-green that needs to go in there. It's slightly warmer. Well, actually it's cooler, it's bluer. Not putting much of it on. But if you look down here, this is all quite, there's quite a lot of it down here. Because it's in the shade, but it's still being caught in the light. I don't want it to be too uniform. So this gives the illusion of light, but in a shaded area, if that makes sense. So it's not bright sunlight. It's not deeply in shadow. This is where we get a bit more experimental, because it's looking okay, but it doesn't really have much of a wow factor at the moment. So what I'd like to do is introduce more of a turquoise. This is BG16. It's just slightly different from the sea colour. But I just want it to add a bit of va-va-voom out on the water. And I'm also just going to add some in here. Okay, that looks too bitty to me now, so I need to come in again with a little bit of this. And soften out some of that blue. And then when I come back in the middle, some of this is softer, and that's blending better. So there's less definition between the change from the two, and again I'm going to work it into that mauve, so that mauve ends up just more of a hint, just scumbling over the top, blending these purples into one another. So this is P4, and this is going to be my lightest colours on this side, on with the grasses. So I don't want overkill, just gentle, very gentle. Just catch that bit of light, not too many places. Forget these will come out sideways, not just in one direction. Try not to put too much detail up here. And again, over here, there will be just a few little bits that have caught the light. And just a few touches of this P4 where the sun has really literally just brushing it. I think it's almost done. I think we can put some of this colour in here, just on some of these like little leafy bits, just to give the illusion of a little bit of light. Blend some of that just to soften the edges, particularly in the distance. It won't be that much definition up there. And it really is, there's no right or wrong way. It really is for you to decide what your aesthetic is for it. Everybody's painting is going to be different, and there's no right or wrong way. All I've given you is sort of some techniques and some ideas. The very final thing is just to put some sunlight on the sand with this colour here. It's just a little bit lighter, so I don't want too much. It's just a few marks. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see your finished paintings later.